Hi advocates, this is Gauri Gladish, Director of Research and Advocacy with the Women's Foundation. I'm so excited you've tuned in and that you are as excited as I am because I am here with Senator Victoria Steele from District 9, and it is just an absolute pleasure to be here interviewing her today about some very important topics and information about the Equal Rights Amendment, or ERA. And we know that if we were going to talk to anyone about the ERA, it had to be Senator Steele. So thank you so much for being with me today.
It is a pleasure, and welcome to you and to all of the advocates listening today. Welcome to the Arizona State Senate. This is where the action really happens, and sometimes doesn't happen, but this is where it's all taking place. So this is a pretty I'm just really happy that you're all here and that you're all engaged and active, and we need that to continue. So don't stop no matter what.
Thank you. We won't. And thank you for joining in with us with our advocacy efforts, and
of course,
so appreciated. All right, so I don't want to waste any more time because these questions are so important. Can you please tell us what is the ERA and why is it so important for women?
The ERA is one short little sentence, and it goes like this: equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. That was introduced, in 1923. And if you're adding up, it was 99 years ago. 99 years ago. It's hard to believe that we still do not have constitutional equality in this land. I mean, this is 2022, 99 years after it's been introduced, and we do not have constitutionally guaranteed equality. And what's up with that? Men and women are not considered equal under our law, and that's a big deal.
What is up with that? I agree. The next question I have for you: what is the ERA's current status nationally and in Arizona?
Okay. Well, the easier part is to talk about what it is not in Arizona. Every year, I keep introducing it in the House, or in the Senate, and in the House, Representative Pamela Powers Hanley has been introducing it in the House. So in the Senate and in the House, we introduced the Equal Rights Ratification Amendment, and it doesn't go anywhere. There is a group, mostly men, that just simply do not want this to happen. And it boggles the mind. Why would you not want women and men to have equality? That doesn't make any sense. It matters, it's significant, but we still do not have the ratification of the ERA in Arizona. However, now I told you that it was first introduced 99 years ago by Alice Paul. She's our hero. 99 years ago in 1923, Alice Paul introduced the Equal Rights Amendment, and it took many years. Let me see, do I have the year that it was? I've got it here. I never remember numbers. Numbers are terrible for me. However, it took a long time to get Congress to pass it. And then once Congress passed it, they put it out to the states, where you had to have 3/4 of the states ratify. That meant 38 states had to ratify. And that got totally stalled because that group of people that don't want women to have equality with men came up with all these fear factor things like, oh my gosh, women will have to dress like men, and you won't be able to get married, and women will be the head of the house, and you'll have to wear pants, and all kinds of really stupid, ridiculous things. And it stalled in the 80s. We needed 3 more states to ratify. And it stalled out until about 3 or 4 years ago. And then Illinois ratified it. And then, Nevada? I believe Nevada ratified it. And then 2 years ago, Virginia became that 38th state. Tried so hard to make it be Arizona, but that's okay. We were finally able to ratify it, And then it takes 2 years from that date for it to become officially the amendment. Let me see what the 28th Amendment. So on January 27th, that's when of 2 years ago, that's when it was ratified in Virginia. 2 years later was January 27th of this year in Arizona, and it has been ratified. Now there's only one problem. The archivist who works for the United States government refused to put it into the Constitution, to publish it in the Constitution once it was legally ratified. And it's not in the Constitution because he was working for our previous president. Now, just this year, on that day, on January 27th, President Biden and Congress said, yep, it's a thing, but it's still not in the Constitution. The House passed the bill to override the deadline that was put there artificially, and so we're still waiting for this to go in because the Senate now has to agree. And we've got 2 senators. What you need to do to help make this pass, what you need to do is to call your 2 senators. We've got one that we're pretty sure has always been supportive. I've talked to him directly. And Mark Kelly, totally supportive of the Equal Rights Amendment. Our other senator really needs to be encouraged to understand that this is vital for women. And it is absolutely incredulous that we do not have the Equal Rights Amendment ratified and in our Constitution. We need this. This is so critical to all women and to men. This is important for all of us. And in this day and age, what the heck? Why don't we have this?
Well, you answered one of my questions already, so thank you. And it was, what can Arizonans do to help ratify the ERA in Arizona? And that's to call their senators and urge their support to ratify. Great, thank you. So we know that women face a variety of inequities in life, right? When it comes to not getting paid as much. We saw during the C-session that women were leaving the workforce in huge numbers because of the inability to manage childcare responsibilities with work responsibilities. So in what ways can ratifying the ERA help resolve some of these inequities faced by women?
Under the Constitution, the ERA would not become that law that would become, or that the constitutional requirement would require that all men and all women, regardless of sex, all people in this country would be held to the same high standard of strict scrutiny under the law. So you can't discriminate. You can't charge more for a woman. You can't pay less to a woman. You can't give them lesser consideration when it comes to legal matters, any court matter, any paternity matter. You have to give the same amount, and it's called strict scrutiny. And right now, women are only given intermediate scrutiny under legal matters. And so this really hurts us. But it's places that you don't see it until it's too late, until it impacts you and it's too late. And so we've been working to create ways to make it better, to make more equality for women until we can get this in our Constitution. But the thing is, if we have it in our Constitution, it's arguable. If we don't, when people say, well, we've got laws and statutes everywhere that uphold discrimination laws and don't allow you to, yes, We do so much better than it used to be. But the thing is, those laws, those statutes can be overturned by any political whim. And we know we've seen some pretty serious political whims. So it's vital that this happens.
Great. This has been such an amazing and helpful and informative overview of the ERA and what we can do as Arizonans to make sure the ERA is amended as the 28th Amendment to the Constitution, right? Is that right?
Right.
28. Okay.
28, yes. I have to keep looking at my name.
I know, I tried to
the numbers.
So the last question is an easy one.
Uh-huh.
What is the best way for people to communicate with you if you are their legislator?
That's easy. I am available online. I'm on Facebook. But the best way to reach me right now is through my office here at the State Senate. And that you can reach me through my email, which is vsteele, and Steele has an E on the end. So it's vsteele@azleg.gov. So that's the legislature. vsteele@azleg.gov. And you can also call my office. Be very nice to my assistant. She runs my life, and I'm nothing without her. Don't make her go. She is amazing. She's the radar. Remember the show MASH? She's my radar. That number is 602-926. Wait a minute, is it 629? Oh God. She's going to double check. 926. 5683. 602-926-5683. And what I want you to know is that I'm very approachable on any of this. There's so much to know. And every day on the Senate floor, we're having another legislator read one of our readings on women in history, on legal cases that would have turned out differently if the amendment, if the ERA had been in the Constitution. We've got lots of those, and particularly for Black History Month, we are doing Black women in Arizona who have made history. So we're still doing that for this month, and it's really been an eye-opener. So we have a different senator do a different reading every single day. And you can get online and you can watch that too. So it's something I love to talk about. It is something that is incredibly important. And don't let anybody tell you that we don't need any more equality, because that's just silly.
I agree.